at, they're not really competition. It's called Vasa Fitness. It's kind of a big, like a competitor for Lifetime, but kind of mid-range. It's not Lifetime, but it's not Planet Fitness. So they've got a pool, they've got one of those turf areas, things like that, and they've got a childcare area. She worked in the childcare area, and as I was walking her through, if I don't like an interviewee, I just, thank you for your time. We do the interview, thank you for your time, shake hands, and then, okay, we'll be in touch, I usually say something like, we're hoping to be, if you're the right person, we're hoping to be in touch with you between Thursday and Friday or something like that. That way I don't have to call them back. But if I like them, I walk them through the facility because I want to see their reaction. Like, I always want to give people an out to be like, no, I thought I wanted to work here, and this place is weird or whatever, right? So the last thing I want to do is hire them on the spot. So I walk them through the facility, and when she was walking through, she was like, it's really clean in here. And I was actually thinking, holy crap, I forgot to clean up the black mat room because, there were some things awry, and I was like, dang it. But I was happy to see that our dirty was clean. And I said, oh, well, it's a little dirty. She goes, well, compared to Vasa, it's pretty darn clean. And I was like, okay, good. That's good news. So I've always said, I don't care about how we're competing with our competitors. I care, are we doing our absolute best?
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes us lazy. If we're just doing better than the guy next to us, and that makes us lazy,
Yeah.
So.
Very cool. So you're kind of the master of online marketing, and
trying.
What do you have planned for this time of year? Because last time you were on, you said you really didn't want to go the whole route of New Year's resolutions.
I really don't like that because it just pulls in the people that are going to quit in 2 months. Like, that's a lot of okay. So martial arts school owners, gymnastics school owners, CrossFit school owners, whatever. We are, I think one of the reasons we like what we do is because we're emotionally driven. A lot of us are emotionally intelligent. Some of us are not, but we really are, we're characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, when we sign up 20 people in 1 month, we're like, yeah. And then when they all quit the next month, we're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to shut down my whole business and leave my family and go to Bermuda, right? Like, it really affects us. And what I've noticed about me personally is that I would rather not sign up those 20 and lose those 20. I'd rather sign up 7, but those are people who are not here to lose 50 pounds because, come on, we're not really going to make that happen. They're here because they're tired of going to the gym and they want to learn a skill, or they want to have a place to belong, or they're interested in the class format and all of the other things, confidence building, self-defense, all of the other things that it involves. I'm not saying you can't say New Year's resolution, but what I'm saying is you should be the anti-resolution. Look, aren't you tired of saying you're going to lose 20 pounds? How about we lose 20 pounds? Yeah, sure. But because you love your workout and you're learning, you're meeting new people, you're learning how to defend yourself. An ancillary benefit is you will probably lose weight, and most of the people who join my class do, but that's not the purpose, and that's not the point. Isn't that, wouldn't you like to try that? Sign up here for a free trial, or for a $20 trial, or a $69 or whatever.
Paul Garcia is targeting his adults this month, and he tries to make it real easy. First, he's always building rapport and trust with his adults. Now he's just trying to talk to them and ask them what they're doing for fitness or in shape. So, yeah. I know you're not taking programs here, but what do you do to stay in shape, or what do you do for exercise? And then he's trying to get them to commit to a small step. So they're either going to do some type of group trial, they're going to do a family class, they're going to do a self-defense seminar, they're going to do just like a health day where they're going to talk about nutrition, but just get them a small step, and then once they take a small step, try to get them in as a family membership.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there's two points there on, like, Paul. He has a pretty large student base, yes. Right? Do you know how many active students he's running?
650.
So at 650 active students, if 10% of his parents go, that's interesting, right? If 1 out of 10 people go, I might be interested, maybe. That's 65 people who are like, I might be interested. A lot of people watching this video may not even have 65 total students. So we have to look at what his strategies are and take like the best of those. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think if you're talking about, I think it would be like a bad idea, in my personal opinion, for a school of 65 students to say we're going to have a health fair. Like that's a wasted opportunity. Instead, you could do, we're going to have a self-defense seminar, we're going to have a family workout. Like, think of what's really actually going to work and put your energy towards that. That way you get the most results, you know?
Well, when you're talking like Paul, he's got 650 students. Probably half of those are kids. So say he has 350 kids. That's 700 parents. And
Right.
it's another 700 grandparents. Or no, it's 1,400 grandparents.
Yeah, good math.
Yeah. So he's got over 2,000 really prospects.
Yep. And hot prospects. Not just, those are not random people outside the facility. Those are people who are connected 1 or 2 degrees away from his actual training floor.
Because if you have grandparents of little dragons, they're still young. I mean, they're in their 50s. They still want to stay in shape and do like that. So, I mean, your prospects are really pretty big.
Yep.
But I think it's looking for that little step to get them invited to.
Yep.
I know what you're talking about, the health fair, but one time in Arizona, we did a health fair, and it was myself. We had a yoga studio, and I got a guy who had a nutrition store. And so he invited all his people. The yoga people invited all their people. We invited all our people. So it wasn't like massive success, but you had 50 people there, and they're learning. So my students, if the parents want to do yoga, well, maybe that's their thing. But the yoga people may have kids that want to do martial arts.
Yep.
It was fairly successful.
Well, the other thing that you can do is if you don't think you have the planning capabilities to do that, you can just go plug into somebody else's. Be the yoga studio that would have shown up there. Go set up a table. I think that that if people don't know or they've never successfully done outside events, I don't mean put up a table and sit behind it, but there's no better way to get 10 or 15 new members, actual new members, than a table at a health fair or whatever on a Saturday morning. Especially around this time, you find indoor ones, things that are just indoor events. There's a lot of times that like magazines and stuff will put those on. Parents will flock to places that are inside because it's January and that have something for kids to do. So that's definitely, if you have a big enough school, you can do it in your own school, but it's hard to misstate just how important those one-on-one individual things can be.
Right.
Yeah.
I think probably one of the most unique things that I did in Arizona was also a lot of fun is I told my kids that who wants to do an event outside the school, let's all get together on a Saturday afternoon and go bowling. Nothing to do with martial arts, just all together and go bowling. They said, I had a lot of interest. Went to bowling, and I go, hey, I got a bunch of martial arts kids that want to come down on Saturday. Just want to know if we can get a few lanes. The guy goes, sure. I go, well, I know you have birthday parties and things going. I just want to make sure I'm easy to find. Could I set up a table? So then now I got all these kids doing birthday parties. I mean, it was really easy sell. And so then we just had a table there. People from the birthday parties come, what are all these kids doing? They go to karate class. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed way for enrollments, but it's a good way to get out and do a little branding and do an event for the kids that it's not costing you anything. And
Yep. Figure out where those lines intersect. I couldn't believe how easy it was to get a booth in for the original Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
I think I signed up like 50 kids from like actual enrollments from Kung Fu Panda. What is it, 2008 or 10 or something like that? Yeah. And then we did it again for Karate Kid. 2000, whatever that was. I did it for Karate Kid and for Kung Fu Panda. I didn't do as well for Karate Kid, but it did really well for Kung Fu Panda. A lot of little kids. And the theaters were like, oh, karate person? Yeah, we'd love to have you come out and be a Kung Fu Panda, you know? So, yeah, the lines that kind of intersect. But, yeah, we're doing a lot we're pushing our Facebook ads hard. It's important to remember, I think, that we get down Our enrollments are always down in November and December. Not that we can't have them, but it's certainly easier. Like I look at, for example, I did not change my ad spend at all in November, December, or now in January. I think we were spending $20 or $30 a day on parkour and $20, $30 a day on kickboxing. We do almost all of our martial arts by referral now. It seems to be a waste of money based on where we can make the most money for our studio. That's not to say that it's the right thing for anybody else. But so we're spending whatever, 50 or 60 bucks a day consistently for 2 months, getting, okay leads. Like not everybody's going to sign up around Christmas time. All of a sudden, January 6th, it's like, trial. So it's important to remember that sometimes you're putting in the idea in someone's head, and then they're able to take advantage of it at some point. I will say that our engagement on those ads, comments, likes, shares, didn't really go down in November and December. Now, taking action on the ads did. But we were able to send emails to all those people who put their email in November and December, send them an offer in January. And my offer in January is just, would you like to try karate class? Like we don't necessarily need to do anything special because we're already unique. You know what I mean? Like if you have an adult martial arts class, if you were Planet Fitness competing with whatever the other one is, yeah, you got to like undercut them. You don't need to undercut anybody. Your unique selling position is it's martial arts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but having a captive email audience to send those to is pretty important as well.
Hey, William. So, I was looking at Facebook advertisements, and this one guy from GetKarateStudents.com, he proposes like $30 a day per location. So it's about $600 each location. That's $1,200. And if you do his program where he does everything for you, he guarantees that you can get 100 actual signups within the year. And if you don't, he'll continue to work for you. And so essentially it's going to be about $100 to $150 per student. What's your thoughts on that?
Does he have a track record of that guarantee being successful?
I don't know, but he does have a bunch of testimonials on his website with people, and essentially that's the deal.
What's the management fee on top of that?
All in all, it's going to be about 10 to 15 grand to include $600 a month in Facebook ads.
I'm not trying to pry, but what is this specific? Yeah. So like it's, the Facebook, the daily Facebook ad spend, which has to come out, and then they bill you at a certain price threshold. My assumption, if he's a good operator, is that's going to come directly off the go card. He's not going to bill you for that. But then what is, and so now that 10 to 15K total, is there a monthly management fee he's charging you?
Yeah, I don't know how he charges, like if he's going to charge you on a monthly basis or pay as much of it as upfront. I didn't get to that far, but what I did like was the fact that he guarantees that it's an actual sign up and not like, hey, it's a lead from Facebook and, those leads don't turn into actual signups. So
Greg,
it ends.
Would you know, if you don't know a client, would you trust their enrollment ability?
That's why I was shaking my head when he was saying that, because it's really hard to guarantee someone, because I've got the bakers who bat 80% from intro to sign up. I have other clients that are batting 20 to 30% from intro to signups. I could never make a guarantee on someone else's performance. I can only guarantee my performance.
So I'm not here. My response to a lot of things is go for it, right? As long as you have the ability to back out of it, go for it. I will tell you guys, don't tell anybody. I know this is recorded, but if you're watching this, don't tell anybody. When I very first started doing websites, I did Facebook advertising as well. And I was doing so well with my school. Like, I'm telling you, I had 15-cent clicks cost per click. Now, this is way back in the day. If Facebook's got more expensive, 15-cent cost per clicks, $2 lead cost, $30 or $40 enrollment cost. And at my martial arts school, we weren't motion controls, so 3 points karate. We were like printing money. It was so easy. I personally didn't have the management skills to grow my school past about 150 people, but 150 students. I didn't have the ability managerial wise to the training of people, but I could sure get leads in. That was easy. And I started guaranteeing people, look, I guarantee you X amount of leads. It became really challenging. I took that guarantee away after I disappointed someone who I considered a friend of mine. And fortunately, he's a forgiving person. And he's like, yeah, I get it. I gave him a couple of extra $100 in ad spend, but I couldn't necessarily consistently do that, especially as I grew. I had something like 120, 130 some odd people who were doing Facebook advertising with me. No way I could manage all of that on my own, not without a team. So I'm not saying the guy's lying, because I bet he's not. I'm saying testimonials are one thing. Track record of actually having someone have 100 enrollments total over a year. Sure, I'll pay 10 grand for 100 enrollments. But also, and I said this, I had a billboard company come in, and I signed with them. So like I said, swing for it, go for it, right? I signed up with them, and it was 50 grand over the year. It was a 50 grand, 12-month contract, billboards, online, clicks, and a website, this whole thing that they said, we guarantee you X amount of people. Well, they didn't get me any. And I called them on it. I was like, dude, I'm not getting in. They were like, well, you're saying you're not signing up anybody? I'm like, you can't attribute people that just walked in the door to me. And they were like, well, how can you attribute it not to us? And I'm like, oh, I see how it goes. I see. No, thanks. I'm canceling my contract. You can take me to court if you want, but because we didn't get a single enrollment from the website. So how does he prove that the enrollment wasn't from him?
So that is a good question. And the way he does it is through his Facebook ads, through his systems, I guess. He knows that these leads came from the Facebook ads, and he has sort of like a lead generation thing that says, oh yeah, this Facebook ad from the 1 week free trial deal was because of this ad that we put out. And then that's how we keep track of it. And then that's how we know that this Facebook ad was a 1 week free trial deal, and that we eventually got him to sign up. And so that's how he tracks it down. Because you click a link that says 1 week free, and then it'll say, hey, Greg Silva, son named Greg, and then this and that. And so that's how we know, or he knows, that it's from the Facebook ad.
It's Facebook attribution. He puts a pixel on your website. I mean, we're getting into the weeds here. However, just so everybody understands, it's Facebook, it's attribution, right? There's multiple ways to do attribution. You can do it as a 1 day window, a 7 day window. You can do it a 1 day click, a 7 day click. It's a conversion.